Using linking words effectively can significantly improve your score on the writing section of the TOEFL test. Not only does it allow you to use a variety of sentence structures, it also helps you demonstrate consistent language skills and explain your ideas well. But do you need to learn a lot of connectors? Not really. In fact, for both the integrated essay and the writing for an academic discussion task, you only need a limited number of connectors for a perfect score. What's more, if you use too many of them, or use ones that are too formal, such as nevertheless, furthermore, to exemplify, you could lose points because it won't sound natural. So, my first tip: only use the linking words you're 100% sure of. If you don't think you can use that linking word in a natural and effective way, it's better to avoid it. What are the 18 linking words you really need to ace the writing section of the TOEFL test? Watch this video to find out. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, where you can find all the tips and tricks to score high on the TOEFL test. I'm Anastasia, and in one of our previous videos, we discussed linking words to score high on the TOEFL speaking section. In this lesson, we're going to discuss 18 essential linking words for acing the TOEFL writing section. If your TOEFL exam is coming up and you need a guide to help you successfully prepare for it, check out our TOEFL prep book. There, you'll learn everything you need to know to succeed on the TOEFL exam, presented in a clear, easy to understand, and fun way. You'll understand the 4 sections of the test, master all the types of questions in the reading section, and learn how to tackle them. Find out how to sharpen your listening skills, ace the writing section, and develop speaking fluency. We've also added an extra chapter to review the necessary grammar and vocabulary that will help you with both the writing and speaking sections, and another with test day tips and strategies. The promo code link is in the description below. Now, what are linking words? These are words or phrases that act as bridges between sentences or paragraphs. For example, and, but, so, unless, even if, and so on. They help connect ideas smoothly and make your writing or speaking easier to understand. As I just mentioned, you don't have to force linking words into your sentences. However, if you do use one, make sure you add the word you know well. And that was just the first example of a perfect linking word for the writing section. So, number 1 is however. It means even so or on the other hand, and is often used to introduce a complication, contrast, or contradiction. You can start a sentence with however, as I did, or you can use it to create compound sentences by connecting 2 contrasting ideas. For example, he studied hard, however, he failed the exam. The movie got rave reviews, however, I found it disappointing. Another example, however, it's important to recognize the challenges associated with integrating technology into education. I love to use this linking word in integrated essays because it's so good and universal and allows you to contrast the reading passage and the lecture. When you include the lecturer's opinion, you can write, the lecturer, however, disagrees and says that. For example, intelligence has nothing to do with star navigation. If I'm writing a post about the negative aspects of smartphones, I might write something like this. In today's fast-paced society, technological advances have revolutionized various aspects of human life, increasing convenience and connectivity. Smartphones, for example, have become ubiquitous tools for communication and access to information. However, while these innovations offer numerous benefits, they also present challenges that society must address. For those who don't know, the word ubiquitous means everywhere. If you see this word for the first time, feel free to check out my video on advanced vocabulary for TOEFL, or download our free PDF with 100 of the most common advanced words you may need for the TOEFL test. The link is in the description. As you can see, The use of however in this paragraph helps to move the discussion from the positive aspects of smartphones to the potential drawbacks, creating a balanced and nuanced argument. You can also see that we use "for example" in this post, which brings us to the next two words, "for example" and "for instance." We use these words to give examples. Many students try to replace these linkers with less common alternatives, such as "to exemplify," "to illustrate," "namely," and so on. I wouldn't recommend this. First, you might use them incorrectly and lose points. Second, they're a bit too formal for the kind of writing we do on the TOEFL test. You can start a sentence with "for example" or "for instance," or use them in the middle of a sentence. Many countries have begun to address the problem of pollution. For example, Singapore has implemented strict regulations and promoted public transportation, or many countries have introduced strict regulations to reduce air pollution. For instance, China has imposed limits on industrial emissions and promoted the use of electric vehicles. We can also use the linking words "like" or "such as" to give examples. Through platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, people can keep in touch with friends and family, share updates about their lives, and engage in meaningful conversations. Let's look at another example from one of the integrated essays. Most of these materials, such as building materials, sand, stones, and even construction tools, are not what you would expect from ceremonies. If you want to add information that supports what you've already said, use "moreover" or "in addition." For example, let's say I'm discussing the benefits of technology in education. As I write about it, I can use "moreover" or "in addition" to add new points. Online courses and educational platforms give students from all backgrounds access to high-quality learning materials and instruction. In addition, digital resources such as ebooks, educational applications, and online tutorials provide supplemental support for students, allowing them to deepen their understanding of complex concepts at their own pace. Or, in addition, technology has transformed the classroom environment, making learning more interactive and engaging. I could go on and on about the benefits and add "moreover." Technology has empowered educators to personalize learning experiences to meet the needs of individual students. Another thing we often need when writing is to show the result or consequence of something. In this case, you can use "as a result" and "therefore." The reason I love them is that they are versatile and can be used in a variety of contexts to show causality or logical consequence. The company implemented cost-cutting measures, and as a result, several employees were laid off. Learning to do household chores prepares young people for their future lives as adults. Therefore, those who were taught to do housework as children will find it easier to transition to independent life when they start living on their own. The next few words are "although," "while," and "even though." These subordinate conjunctions allow us to create complex sentences that are so helpful in the writing section, especially when you need to say a lot of things in a short and concise way. We use these conjunctions to introduce a subordinate clause that contains a statement that contrasts with the main clause statement. My absolute favorite of these three is "while," because it's so universal and easy to use in both writing and speaking. Let's look at some examples. An example from an integrated essay. While the reading argues that humpback whales navigate by the stars, the lecturer finds this theory unconvincing. Here, we have "while" at the beginning of the sentence. We can also put it in the middle of the sentence. The reading argues that humpback whales navigate by the stars, while the lecturer finds this theory unconvincing. A few more examples. Even though she was exhausted, she stayed up late to finish her project. Although he had prepared well for the presentation, he felt nervous when he got up in front of the audience. Although some argue that young people should live with their families as long as possible, I believe that it's more beneficial for them to live independently. The other two linking words we can use to introduce contrasting or opposing ideas are in contrast and on the other hand. I often use them in the integrated essay, where you have to contrast the lecture with the text. You can always write, on the other hand, the lecturer states that, or in contrast, the lecturer's position is that, and give their opinion. Last but not least are the linking words but, so, also, and. Even though you know them well and think they're too basic, I'd say they're the most important linking words out there, so don't forget to use them in your essays. For example, she wanted to travel abroad, but she couldn't afford the plane tickets, so she was forced to stay at home. These were the top 18 linking words for the TOEFL writing section. Thanks for watching! Feel free to create sample sentences using these words in the comments below for extra practice. If you want to prepare for the TOEFL quickly and effectively, click on this link to access our TOEFL prep book. Good luck on your TOEFL journey! Have fun studying!